Bing bongy bong, bing bongy bong. This is Joe, the bearded historian. He'll tell you an interesting story. Be careful of his soldiers, they can be brats. This is Angel, she's an entity. She'll cause chaos and plant her hands at you. This is Sue, she likes spirits, not the alcohol. She's the reason this channel exists. This is David, he likes fire trucks. He's here occasionally. Bing bongy bong, bing bongy bong, bing bongy bong. We preserve his story. I almost forgot what I was doing. You ready? Here we go. Shout out time. Here's a shout out just for you. You support me, so I support you. This shout out is for our friend. Who should it be? I forgot to set it again. I'll set it over there, little parallel. Oh, there we go. And start. Yep, I'm a genius. Here we go. Alright, let's see. Who's it going to be? No relators yet. Hermit is sneaking up. I see Ruby's over there. Short Stack and Kaylee. Short Stack's taking the lead. Oh, Hermit's trying to catch up. There comes Surfer, dressed as a bumblebee. And Myers is all red and polka dotted. Oh, here comes Belle with her winter hat. Ruby's is close by. One busy set back. There's Jordan. GT. Oh, Belle's got a good lead. Here comes Ghost Watchers. I think Ghost Watchers are going to make it. Oh, Ghost Watchers made it. Okay, hang on. Alright, Ghost Watchers is fairly new to our community. They have not reached 500 yet. Group of friends who are sensitive to spirit and respectfully seeking the truth. They promise to always be honest with their findings. And it looks like I need to add them on Instagram because I'm pretty sure I don't have them yet. Like, share, comment. Check them out. Especially if you like paranormal. Like our date video, which was my paranormal. And enjoy our Heart to Heart. Hang on, peoples. Because as normal, or as normal as we get, we are completely, totally prepared for this collaboration. Alright. What is your anniversary date?
My anniversary date is 10/13.
October 13th of 2000.
And actually this year is going to be another Friday the 13th too.
Very fun. We did that on purpose, and if you haven't heard that story, look that up underneath our anniversary video, which was last October, way back Wednesday for Joe. How long have we been together? I think a little bit longer than we've been married.
Yeah, because we started getting together in March of 2001. No, 2000.
It's only a few months, so not even a year more.
No, yeah.
Gotcha. That's why I was thinking, but I couldn't remember if it was March, April, or if it had been a full year. I was trying to remember. You're better at those things than I am. Tell us the story of the first time you saw each other. You want to go first?
I'll go first. I actually saw her first when we were in the lunchroom one of the days when I was doing my usual goofy self. And she was busy reading a book, and I kind of ran into a pole.
Because he's, weird like that. I was sitting at a table reading a book. We worked at the same call center, which we did 3 times. Spiegel, Heartland America, and
Spiegel, Heartland America.
My brain just went blank. Synchrony.
Synchrony. There you go.
My brain went blank.
Learning. Very function.
I'm tired. I'm sorry. It's Monday also. You know, hang in there. And my mom decided to introduce me to this doofus. That was not her. That was my word, not hers. She thought we'd have a lot in common because we were both readers. Fortunately, we didn't read the same things. We still don't very much read the same things. Because his weird ass likes his story, and I don't do anything that's reality based. But we have found a couple series that we can share on our tar trips. What qualities or traits do you see in me?
I see she takes and has a lot of fun when we go on trips and stuff. We share the interest in the paranormal. It's been a lot of fun with our road adventures. And she also likes a lot of the fantasy realm, which we had some good stories going at times too.
But people generally ask me what I see in Joe, because, well, this is not most people's ideal, dream man. I look at them and I say, he makes me laugh. Growing up, that was not a thing I did a lot of, so it was a quality I really wanted in a partner. Somebody who could just take me out of my moment, because trust me, I have some moments, and just kind of diffuse the situation. What's your favorite?
Your favorite? One for me to negotiate you out of?
No, I meant favorite trait or personality. Or quality, excuse me.
I like being able to just sit back and chill with you.
Our conversations are good. Our decision-making skills
suck.
Don't ask us to make a decision, because it will take a couple of hours. Because we have to weigh the pros and cons, and the pluses and the minuses, and it's not our strong suit. So, things like pizza or dinner, unless we really want something, that can take a long time to figure out. Well, wait.
And then if we come up with a decision, the place might be closed by the time we come up to the decision.
We've had that.
We've had that happen already.
All right. Number 4. What is the biggest lesson you've learned from each other?
I'm still learning mine. Is to be more vocal on my side, because she hates it when I turn into a chess person where I just sit and look at all the moves and try not to say or do the wrong thing. She wants me to speak up more.
Joe has this problem with overthinking. If I will, not just when it comes to decisions, but I will ask his opinion on something, and because he doesn't want to upset me or anger me, he plots out the conversation, which drives me insane. Because I have no filter. All of you have watched, I know that Angel has no filter. I have no filter. I will not hold back. You know my thoughts, my feelings. The minute it pops into my head, it's out. There is no thinking, and if it offends you, it offends you. I will probably apologize if I didn't mean to offend you, but I don't sit and think about those consequences where he does. Which I see the benefits of that, but it drives me crazy because I have no patience. None at all. For Joe, I think my favorite quality is that he does have that ability to think about the consequences, because I don't. And I need that, because I will probably get arrested. Joe once thought about running for political office, and I told him I would make a very bad politician's wife, because I would offend a lot of peoples, and I would not care for most of them. Let's see. How do you define love?
Love, I think, is a trait that two people who enjoy being together they grow and they bond closer, and they spend a lot of time together doing things that they both enjoy.
I define love as knowing that that person is going to be there even after you've had that explosion. Even after you've hit that rock bottom. You know they're going to be there. And they're going to build you up. It may take some time. But they're going to be there. They're not just going to disappear. They're not just going to walk off. Because if you love somebody, you're not just going to say, okay, I'm done.
Well, for somebody who wanted to snarl at the minister for the vows, for better or for worse, and then he threw and obeyed. What was your reaction?
I said they had to take that out. I ain't obeying nobody. Unless you obey me, and you ain't obeying me.
No, ain't on there either, sister.
How did having children change you as a couple? I think in a lot of ways it made us more adultish.
Yeah.
You have to remember, David was born, we were both in our early 20s. And he was 2 when he was diagnosed with autism. And so we had to do some research. And we were very lucky that we got him diagnosed early. We got him into a very good program.
The schools he's been in have been fantastic to that regard. And the thing, like they said a lot of times, is that every case with autism is different. You know,
we're very lucky he's very as high functioning as he is. He can do a lot on his own. But really that moment, I think Joe panicked a little bit, and I'm like, okay, what do we do? What can we do? And unfortunately we live in the middle of the Midwest, which is not known for its resources. And so when we ask, what are your resources? They're like, oh, there are some. Where are they? We don't know. Or it was on the other side of the state. Either they didn't know, or it was on the other side of the state. And at that time, moving was not an option. We were living on food stamps,
Section 8.
Thank you. Section 8, WIC. We had to work one job. We kind of alternated as David was growing up until real recently. We could not be a two-income family because we could not leave David in a daycare. That was not a physical possibility. Now we could do that with Angel, but we didn't want to leave Angel by herself. Not that she would have allowed it.
No, better.
She would have had a fit. He probably would have had a fit. Which is why respite care was never an option, because they'd only take David. So we got to be very creative about how we did things. And I think that's one of the reasons why what we do now works so well.
Yeah.
Is because we had to wing it.
For so many years.
For so many years. But now winging it is second nature, and we just kind of go with it.
We ought to write a book on that someday.
Winging it?
Winging it. Winging it. Autism in the 21st century.
Oh, here's a hard one.
Uh-oh.
What movie or sitcom couple would you like our relationship to be similar to?
Sitcom couple. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, good luck with this
Good
one.
luck with that one, yeah.
Now, I can think of some book couples.
Yeah.
Sitcom couples, I grew up in the 90s, peoples. I don't remember a lot of sitcom couples.
I mean, the ones that come to my mind, there was Home Improvement.
Home Improvement was good.
There was the old Cosby Show back in the day.
Cosby's wasn't bad, but where my mind goes to Family Matters.
Yeah.
Mostly because they were a bigger couple, kind of like us. although he was a little bit bigger than she was, from what I remember. It's been a few years. But they always seemed to balance each other. And they were also kind of opposite, like, in some ways we are.
Right.
What is something that you think you both have in common? I like this question, that you think you both have in common. Is that for them or us? Because that question's confusing.
What do you think we both have in common? That is confusing.
Because,
what do they think we have in common?
we'll leave that one to you guys. Leave it in the comments.
Yeah.
I'll leave that as a question on the comment page. I'm curious as to what you guys will say if you guys answer the question, which some of you do, but most of you ignore me. Don't ignore me. Number 11. At this point, today, right now, what are you most excited about in our relationship or marriage?
But it comes down, we're going to be together. After all these years, I mean, you think about all the couples that have tried.
True.
And I mean, we've outnumbered Hollywood, maybe 90 to 1.
That is true.
Vegas wouldn't even get a massage.
That is true. I would say the fact that we're finally building something together. I feel like we finally found a niche. We're finally making progress. We have savings, which before the last couple of years we've never been a thing. We're meeting all of our bills. We're paying them all on our own. You know, I feel like we're finally making those steps to that scary thing called adulthood. Now that the fact we're both in our 40s and you're almost 50,
yeah.
we're getting we're late bloomers. What brings you the most joy in our relationship?
I think just the fact that we get to go out, together and do things together. We both enjoy it, going to see the movies.
Which we're doing
We still go. We go and do Pokemon Go or Pikmin off and on, and every weekend we get out of town together, go explore new places. Hopefully not get stuck in snowdrifts again.
That's his fault. That's just where you guys want. Maybe we'll put it in our members tab. I don't know. We got some stories. I'm thinking stories may be a members thing. What do you guys think? Because I've been trying to decide what to give you guys, and stories would be a good members thing. Maybe. But I do agree that this, right now, I think is our best situation, our best years. We're kind of settling into a routine that kind of works for us. We've got jobs that kind of work for us. And I do think that, going out and exploring, finding new things and new places, and just kind of, whatever happens, happens. Sometimes we find our destination, sometimes we don't.
The thing I thought was cool is when I was able to rebound when I did, went straight from the paper into a better position.
I admit that when the paper let you go, I was really worried, and I'm glad it only took, what, was it a month and a half or so? It was a little over a month.
About,
which isn't too bad. What are your short-term and long-term goals? See, this is the problem, guys. We don't do goals. Goals involve that P word, and we're not good at the P word.
No P word, bad juju, don't go there.
I would say the only long-term goal we have would probably be a house. But the chances of us finding one in our price range that we like and agree upon is very slim. So by the time that we figure that out and we find one, we may decide we don't want one.
This is true. I mean,
because what's the point of getting a mortgage if we're never going to be home? if we ever get to the point where we actually retire, which I don't see us either doing because we will bored as heck, I think that we would not be home.
Yeah.
We would be one of those RV couples.
Stop touring around the country, visiting small towns, and
Yeah, we just,
keep our blogs going.
yeah. So that goal that may change just because now that we're older, it isn't as, I don't want to say it isn't as important, but it isn't, I don't know. I don't want to spend years paying off a house and then the kids aren't there.
Right.
And while David could live there, if Angel kept an eye on him, I'd rather have him be in one of those communities with other people with special needs, where he can be somewhat independent and somewhat looked over, rather than in a house where he's mostly on his own and Angel checks in occasionally.
Right.
Let's see, what number are we on? 11. I forgot. No, wait, we did that one.
We're on one with goals.
Yeah, that was 10. I thought we did 11. I think we skipped around.
I think so too.
Because we did 11. Because that was the most exciting thing about your relationship.
Right.
This is what happens when I'm put in charge of reading and I'm tired. I skip. Anyway, we don't do things in order anyway, so we'll just continue on. Hang on. Let's see. In what ways can we continue to build and strengthen our relationship?
Stay open and communicative. Keep talking. Keep sharing.
We need adult friends.
What are those?
People that we can talk to about our gripes about our partner, so that we can kind of vent. Because we don't have that currently. Not that we've ever had that, because we've always been having a child with disabilities in the Midwest means you do not do activities that other adults do. Our activities when the children were younger were taking them to Walmart and letting David run around. The people at Walmart knew who our son was, and if he ran ahead of us, they're like, he went that way. They were great people, wonderful crew.
At 3 a.m. in the morning.
Also the guy at Perkins.
Yes.
He was awesome.
Excellent cook.
What was the question? Oh yeah, strengthening. I forgot the question. I'm tired, guys.
She's a little tired tonight, can you know?
It's Monday and I've been awake for a day. Oh yes, question. I would say that we need to continue to do things that excite and interest us. That's one thing we're finally able to do, is do things without having to pinch every penny and save up for eons.
Right.
Now it's just a matter of, okay, when can we do this? When is it open? When do we want to do this? Things like that. So I think it's important that we just keep it exciting, keep it interesting, try new things, do new things. That's why our channel is very random, because if it interests us,
We throw it out there.
we throw it out there.
It's over and you guys are enjoying it.
So far. Now, number 13, I asked Joe this the other day, and he looked at me, and I said, I knew you weren't going to know the answer to this question. What is your love language? And I had to explain it to him, and I'll explain it to those of you who are not familiar with this. And I learned about this, I don't remember where I learned about this.
From Jim or?
It might have been Jen, but I don't think so. I want to say it wasn't one of my classes in psychology a bazillion years ago, but I want to say it was a video of some sort. Anyway, words of aspiration, that worked out. Affirmation, acts of service, gifts, quality time, physical touch.
And this, I'd never even heard of this thing before, so yeah.
And your answer is?
I'm with words of affirmation.
I do agree with words of affirmation. For me, I think acts of service and quality time are a little bit higher than words of affirmation. Just because words, I mean, they are important, don't get me wrong, but they're also very easy to give. But acts of services where you're doing something for the other, and quality time, which I think we're doing a lot better on that recently, I feel are important. That time together to build those bonds, to share those experiences, to build those memories, are the foundation. That's that solid base that you're not supposed to agree with me. It's not how it works.
Well, given that I never even heard about the upgrade of this language of love.
It's kind of, think of it this way, it's kind of like how do you learn? Everybody learns differently, they also love differently. You know, some people receive love or give love in different ways. And so knowing how you love and how your partner receives love are very important. And I think that it is a newer thing. I think it's only been around 10-ish, 5-10 years, so not very long.
Gotcha.
Number 14, based on your relationship / marriage, what advice could you offer other couples that may help them in some way? God, don't look at us for advice. I know we've been doing it for over 20 years, but that doesn't make us experts in any way, shape, or form.
Nope.
What's your advice?
Have patience, and when you guys got married, you're looking at, for better or for worse, this was the person you're married to, and something brought you two together. Build off of it.
I think those worst times are the hard part.
Yeah.
And so when you get into that moment of worst, you have to stop and remember those bests. Because even when you are having that fight, even when you don't want to talk to that person, you don't want to deal with that person, you still have those moments. And so you have to remember those moments. And don't get me wrong, sometimes relationships don't work out, but that doesn't mean you just give up. You have to stop yourself and you have to evaluate the pros and the cons. And you have to remember those good moments as much as you remember the bad ones. And I think that is the key, is finding a way that builds both people. Relationships have give and take. If one customer is only giving, the other one only taking, then somebody's going to be depleted. So you've got to find that balance of meeting both parties' needs. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, you covered it very well.
You didn't say very much.
I know.
It's supposed to be contribution. Contribute.
Contribute?
Stop thinking. He's doing it again. He's thinking.
That's because I'm listening to you.
No, you're supposed to be contributing.
Supposed to be contributing. Well, the big thing that I look at is that, there's any more in this generation that we've got coming up. A lot of people will look at, oh, this isn't going to work, quit it, we're done. They last between 1 to 3 years, max. It's almost like, it's easier just to start over fresh, go find somebody else. The big thing for a lot of people, and then on the opposite side of the coin, you got people that have been together for 3 to 5 years, have never gotten married, but they've never learned about that other person. And so, when you have that time before you get married, what is it that brings you two people together? What is it that you like about each other? Is this a person you want to spend the rest of your life with? I've had friends that have gone out and got married, and it lasted less than a year. And I'm like, what, obviously you both still like each other. Well, yeah, we like each other, but not that way. And I'm like, that's really weird to, put that much effort forward and then not discover, what is it you don't like about the person? The dumbest thing I think I've ever heard, some person didn't like the other person's choice of color. I'm like, that's a dumb thing to get divorced over.
I think that also that's why you need to date for more than, wait, we should be saying this one.
Yeah, I was going to say, we weren't together that long either, but.
Well, also, I don't know, we didn't have a long engagement, but I don't think that we also rushed it.
Yeah.
Everybody's length of engagement's a little bit different, but I've heard people who are like, day 2 saying the L word. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just the way I grew up in a family that was a little bit rocky. No, a whole lot rocky. Again, stories. Whole lot rocky. I knew that was one word I would never say lightly. And I've heard people who say it after the second date. I'm sorry. No. You have to know. Attraction is one thing, but looks aren't going to last forever. How I look today is not how I'm going to look in 5 years, or 10 years, or 20 years. So you have to look beyond that surface level. And I think that that's one thing a lot of couples don't do nowadays. They don't look beyond that surface stuff. And we talk a bazillion. Our first date literally was 2 hours talking.
We never got in the restaurant. Of course, we could also tell them about the restaurant, the Red Lobster trip from hell.
That's date number 2, and that is also in the anniversary video from way back Wednesday. If you want that story, you've got to go watch that video because it's a story. It's hilarious. It's funny, but it's a story. I think that is about it. We want to wish all of you happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, people.
Welcome to the family if you're new. I'm hoping everybody who is in the Heart2Heart will watch this. Join our family if you haven't.
And a small hint, just be careful, she may not like chocolate.
You'll see that short in the morning. It'll be before this. It'll be the first thing I put up in the morning. That's a whole nother ball of something.
Ball of wax, yeah.
I don't know if I want to say wax.
Ball of chocolate? That's either.
That doesn't work either.
Everlasting gobstopper, how about that? It's round.
I mean, it's round.
Jawbreaker straight out. I mean, yeah.
Jawbreaker or the Everlasting?
Yeah, Everlasting Gobstopper.
Yeah, but which one? Which one would you choose?
Technically, they're both Jawbreakers.
Technically, they're both Jawbreakers, yes.
I would go with the Jawbreaker then.
I think I prefer the Gobstopper.
Smaller, easier to work with.
Smaller, easy to work with. And as weird as this sounds, and anybody who knows me, it's probably going to go, what? The flavor changes.
Yes.
Where on a Jawbreaker, it doesn't always change.
No, it doesn't.
And I think that we're going to call it a night at 9:21 p.m. I'll upload this and, is there anything else?
No, I think we're done for the night. Oh.
Happy Valentine's Day from my koala to you. Bye-bye.
Purple kissy.